Hello everyone and welcome back to another Bugrock of the Week episode. Today we're going to be taking a look at a whole bunch of different bugs having to do with plants and mushrooms and cactuses and just things that grow in Minecraft. There are quite a few little bugs here and most of these are pretty low key. However, several of these can break your farms and break your builds and just break things in general. So it's good to know about these ones. And before we really get into things, make sure you watch until the end of this episode because I actually have some important information regarding how we can help the developers fix bugs and how we can actually make the bug tracker much better when it comes to actually upvoting these things and giving the developers more information that they need on these bug reports. So at the very least, make sure you at least skip to that part of the video and learn everything that there is to learn about the bug tracker. Also, if you have not seen the last couple episodes of Bugrock of the Week, that is where we take a look at all of the bugs in the 1.9 update, and there are a lot of bugs, especially having to do with in-gateways and world corruption. If you're not aware of the world corruption and gateways being completely broken, go watch that episode because otherwise you might completely accidentally corrupt your world, and that is not a good thing. Also, that bug isn't scheduled to be fixed until 1.11, I think. That's kind of what I heard. So it's really good to be aware of that while it's in the game for a couple of months. So our first little bug is one that I've known about for a while now, and that is that the top of the cactus block is actually completely broken. So as you can see, it's not damaging any mobs, hostile, passive, villagers, or even players. It doesn't even delete items on top of it. And that just makes cactuses basically like a normal block, which is extremely boring. As we all know, cactuses are very, very interesting blocks. We can also see this with the player as well. It doesn't damage you when you stand on top of it, so you can just totally dance up here forever. However, the sides of the cactus still work. They still delete items and all the good stuff. Still acting like a cactus, which is cool. But as you can see, there's also a little bit of a texture glitch with them on the sides. You can kind of see through the side of their texture. Slightly strange, but not too big of a deal. So I mentioned this in the previous episode as well, but I figured I may as well mention it here just to get a little bit more support for the bug. But basically, if you break a tall mushroom with a silk touch, it will not drop the correct blocks. As you can see, we're getting these kind of spongy mushrooms instead of this nice red one, which is what we should get. Currently, these are unobtainable and survival, which is lovely. And we can see this with the brown mushrooms as well. These ones also drop spongy mushrooms, which are not stackable with the ones from the red mushroom. It's all kinds of confusing, but they should drop these nice brown ones. The only thing that does work is the stem blocks. And as you can see, we get the proper stems and they actually stack together. So it's more fixed than it has been previously. However, it is still broken and still not quite how it should be. So this one's been in the game for a little while now, and I'm very surprised that it was not removed with 1.9. But basically, if you bone meal a little bamboo sapling thing, whatever you want to call it, it'll basically just remove any block that's above it. Bedrock, beacons, chests full of things, diamond blocks, barrier blocks, even waterlogged things, it does not matter what it is. It'll be completely removed. People have even made automatic flying machines to remove the entire nether roof in one go. A pretty overpowered thing. And this was also a bug with sugarcane and trees and pretty much anything that you can bone meal. This was a bug with that as well. So I'm very surprised that first of all they didn't check this and the update that they added bamboo, and also that it wasn't fixed in 1.9. Come on guys, you've introduced the same bug 4 times now with every different plant. It's kind of funny at this point. I don't know. I can't help but make fun of that, okay? I'm sorry. So now we get into kelp, and there's actually 2 things with kelp. One that actually breaks farms and one that is a missing feature. We'll talk about the missing feature first, of course. So this has to do with kelp actually always growing to the same exact height. As you can see on both sides of this farm and even in that farm over there, the kelp has all grown to its maximum height of 15. So basically this, kelp on Bedrock Edition is missing an age system. So on Java, every time that you go and you place a piece of kelp, that'll actually get a random age assigned to it, and that determines how much more kelp can grow above that. So let's say that this was the final oldest age that it can be. It'll never grow any kelp above there. What we could do is break that, place another one, and then that kelp could grow taller. And basically this makes it so that all of the kelp out in the oceans actually grows to different heights, and it looks really awesome out there because nothing is all the same size. Now on Bedrock, it all of course grows to the same height, which makes it look kind of strange in the oceans, but it's also really nice for farming, of course, because you get way more kelp. So yeah, a little bit of a missing feature. Hopefully we can get that added to Bedrock because it would be cool and it would be nice for parity as well. And now we have one more kelp bug, which is actually fairly bad. So basically what happens is whenever you break the bottommost block of kelp, this kelp plant still thinks that it's alive and it thinks that it can grow one taller. So because you remove that one, this plant is now 14 blocks tall, meaning that it can grow one more. And as it is breaking from the bottom up, it actually can grow even higher, which can, in theory, break kelp farms like that one over there. I've installed some like safety systems to prevent that from happening with that design, but it's still pretty annoying because of course when kelp grows up into a flowing water source, it actually turns it into a water source, not just a flowing one. So we can quickly go ahead and demonstrate that. We'll just remove these blocks. All of these flowing water sources will just be kind of sitting there hanging out. I'm gonna go ahead and throw an item and that will break all of the kelp down at the bottom. And we'll see some more kelp grow up. As you can see in the back there, we saw one, and that just turned all of these into actual water sources. So if we were to put some blocks right here, all of that is now water sources. As you can see, that can clearly break farms and just be a nuisance and really quite painful at times. Very, very good to be aware of that bug. Now you can kind of prevent that from happening by putting like signs in the water. And what that'll do is it'll prevent the kelp from growing up, but still allow the actual kelp items to flow past it. However, this gets very expensive and very, very tedious very quickly. So this next one is actually a little bit of an imparity in between Java and Bedrock that was brought to my attention by you guys, and that has to do with leaves and not rendering as they maybe should. As you can see right now, we're looking at this leaf. It is totally special in every way, but we can actually see through the little gaps in the texture to the bottom of the leaf and the sides and even the back of it. Now on Java, if you have the correct settings, then you will only ever see the one side of the leaf that you're actually facing. If you're looking around, you'll see only the sides that you should be able to see. You won't be able to see through it. This actually makes trees look much better on Java Edition than they can look on Bedrock. Again, this is in the graphical settings. So if you want a little bit more parity in between Java and Bedrock, and maybe you want some better settings on Bedrock to have nicer looking trees, then maybe consider leaving an upvote on the feedback suggestion that is linked down below. It's not like a bug tracker bug. It's actually a feedback suggestion because Bedrock Minecraft has a feedback site that no one really knows about. There's a lot of stuff on there. Maybe take a look through there and upvote some stuff. And that is all I got for this Bug Rock of the Week episode. I hope you all enjoyed and learned a thing or two about the differences and imparities and bugs on the Bedrock Edition. Now, before you go and click off the video, I have some important information about the bug tracker and some stuff that was told to me by one of the moderators of the bug tracker, Aldrich. So first of all, upvotes on the bug reports don't do as much as you might think it does. It does help them prioritize what bugs to fix once they actually get to the fixing stage. However, what we can do to really help them out a lot is actually leave comments on the bug report and help them confirm the bug. So if you have experienced the bug yourself while you're there on the bug report, leave a comment with what platform you play on, how you've reproduced the bug, how you found the bug, just any additional information you can give them will really help them out. If you're really going all out, maybe you can upload like a picture or some videos or link to some other bug reports that are similar but different. But yes, leaving comments and also upvoting is like the best thing that you can do for actually getting these bugs fixed. And of course, there are going to be a ton of bug report links down in the comment section as well. So upvote them, leave your comments, and there will also be a couple of links to the feedback site as well, where you can vote for like these different parity options just to get the different features added to the Bedrock Edition and increase the parity, which is always nice. But that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you did enjoy. If you did, then be sure to leave a like on the video. Consider subscribing if you guys are new here, and I will see you down in the comment section and in the next one. Thank you again for watching, and then there was silence.